Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review of Basketball Wives Season 1, Episode 4, The Last Supper. Y'all, this episode is a lot of victim blaming. Well, I'm not gonna even say victim blaming. It's a lot of not taking accountability and playing victim. How about I say it that way? Not taking accountability and playing victim. All right, so the girls all get together. They wearing green and they're meeting up for the quote unquote Last Supper with all the girls that's hosted by Milan. So the girls get together. It starts out, and then I think Mackenzie gets there first, and they talk about the seating arrangement and all that stuff. And then they have this other section where um Morgan and Danny, they have a conversation, and that's when Morgan tells Danny about the whole bully comment. And then there is another section where Megan and Ashley, they're having a conversation about, nobody really not liking Ashley because Ashley doesn't take accountability. And that's the reason why most of the girls are taking liking to Morgan, because Morgan tells her story. So whatever, but Ashley says she never really gets the chance to tell her side, and they bring up the fact that Ashley says she never really gets a chance to tell her side. And Megan asks Ashley, now, weren't you and Morgan friends? She said, yeah, we were friends, but Ashley did recant that and said they were not friends. They were just basketball friends. So, Ashley, I'm going to need you to make it make sense. Now, if you want to relate and get these girls, on your side, then you do need to say one story and stick to it. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, it is what it is. But all the girls are pretty much getting together and they're having this whole sit down. Now, mind you, when most of the girls come in there, they sit where they're supposed to sit. Morgan and Danny were already kind of amped up, and don't forget they took drinks before they entered into um the supper with the other girls. They were already they were on go. They were on go because when they come in, they rearranged the placements. They took the place cards and they moved them, and they didn't even hug the other girls. Because normally when they see Nique and all them, they're hugging. But this time they just say hi. They sit down, they move the cards around, and they yeah, and they sit down and they talk, and especially then I'm grown. Can't nobody tell me where to sit. I'm grown. But I'm like, normally when these shows happen, if there is a placement sitting somewhere, then you're supposed to sit there. Like, we have our F&A retreats at my job, and they have placements where you sit. I'm not going around here changing placements, especially now. It'll be different if my supervisor wasn't around, and if I didn't want to sit somebody, I'd probably change it. But if I'm in the person that set out the placement, then I'm not moving it. So that was very disrespectful for her to come in. Now I'm talking about Danny, Danny and Morgan. They come in, they don't speak, and then they're moving around stuff, and then they playing victim later on. You can't tell me what is okay, but this is not your dinner. This is Milan's. Anyway, so the whole thing for this was to get the girls together, and they kind of hash out their differences, or they're just trying to see where everybody is coming from so they can get on some type of common ground. But it doesn't seem that it's going to happen that way, because as we all know, Nique is the one that brought up the bully. Nique is the one that said that they were bullies, and Nique, she piggybacked and she was just like, yeah, like some big bully bees. She didn't say like, oh, Danny and Morgan are big. She didn't say that. She didn't even bring that up. Nique brought it up. And then that's when Nique piggybacked, as we all saw. So what Nique talking about, she just causing drama for no reason. And she's another one that's playing victim. All right. So all the girls sit down, and Nique starts talking about, so what do you think about, the party, that about the girls and all that stuff. Nique was the main one talking. She was talking about, yeah, they was like this. She was running her mouth. But then she tried to make it seem when she's in front of Morgan and Danny like she just asked a simple question. What do y'all think about how they were doing Ash? I'm like, girl, you really You really messy. Like and then Nique looking at her like, really? And then they bring up the stuff about bullies and all that stuff. And child, that's when it was a whole. I'm gonna mute this because I ain't trying to get copywritten, but I'm just gonna let this play in the background because of the simple fact it's just like it was just a lot of drama for no reason. Because Nique, I guess all of them are friends and all of them call each other the B word or whatever, whatever. But my thing is, Morgan, if you if you didn't like from the very, 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 very beginning of Nique calling you a B. Now, this when y'all was friends, y'all whatever. All of y'all call each other that word, right? All of you all. So when Nique brings it up, yeah, Nique did have a little tension. I ain't gonna even lie, because Nique is my girl. But yeah, Nique, you had tension build up because of the way that you were feeling in the past. So you didn't like how them girls was coming off anyway. And then now that you and Mackenzie do have some type of friendship, Nique is the type of person she likes to protect people. And you can tell she's like that, like she like, dang, man, Mackenzie, she like my friend, so I don't like how y'all treat her, whatever, whatever. So yeah, Nique did have it in her chest. She really did. And so at this point, when Nique did call that girl a B, it was a different type. It wasn't like we friends, but she did call it, and I can understand that. So I'm not gonna be biased on that, right? And also, Nique, you did throw that napkin. You threw that napkin. So yes, Nique, you were being the aggressor. You shouldn't have threw that because Nique, I've been watching you for a long time. And if anybody were to even do that to you, like you said later on, yeah, you would have been to jumped across that table. You would have. But tensions was already high. It was a big elephant in the room, and child, the elephant was showing all through there. Okay, so then you have this whole mess where everybody's jumping up. You got Danny hitting Morgan, and Morgan was Danny hitting Milan, and Milan is trying to, break it up. Milan wasn't trying to get her friend. No, yeah, Milan said both of them was her friends. So she was just really trying to break it up. Morgan was going at Nique. Danny hit Milan in the face. Now, Milan, you need to learn how to duck now. Now, you play basketball, you athletic. You need to learn how to shuck and jive or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, one more thing I wanted to bring up, too, because they were talking about Ashley's hair. And Megan kept saying it ain't racial appropriation, it's cultural appropriation. It's called cultural appropriation when somebody that's none whatever you are, and they are doing things that your culture does, just like white people dressing up like Indians and Chiefs, or either black people dressing up like Indians or whatever. So if that's not a part of your culture, then you don't appropriate that culture by doing what they do. If you trying to be like a costume, or you just doing it for fun, or whatever the reason is, just stay in your own culture. You know what I'm saying? So Ashley had them faux locks in her hair, and I actually said she black. I said, girl, black will. Black up what? I mean, like, what's the percentage? Because you look, and she said, well, nobody ever asked me. And Nique was like, shoot, girl, I didn't know you. I thought you was white. And I mean, we all did. So who the black one, your mama or your daddy? I don't know. Can you dive into that a little bit more? But the girl said maybe it's her grandma. Her grandma. Because you know what? I am a chocolate brown skin, beautiful honey, beautiful girl. Y'all can go back and check me out, later. And my great grandmother is white. Yeah. And I don't look nothing like it, but I don't be running her talking about I'm white. I don't. Cause I don't know. Cause my great grandmother is white and my grandmother is biracial. She's black and white. And so I didn't get them white, except for I guess in my hair, because it's real. It could be real fine. And I don't like that. That stuff get thin looking. And I want that thick, Afro puffs, rough and stuff, Afro puff hair. That's what I be wanting. But this stuff be real spongy, chair. You comb it break. I don't like that. I said, maybe that's them white folks inside of me. Anyway, girl, this ain't nothing to do with me. This is neither here nor there. But anyway, so, yeah, Nique, you did start that. You did. And, Morgan and Danny, y'all was just acting up. You know what I'm saying? Then that... Morgan took her shoes off, and then Daddy, I guess, took her shoes off, and then they had broke it up, right? Because they was throwing plates and glasses and spoons and cups and all this stuff, right? So they broke it up, and the girls went outside, and the other girls was kind of going back, and you see Nique coming outside. Where your man's at? Where your man's at? I said, girl, I don't know. You now don't be trying to rub in the fact that they man's done left. Left them, but they Nique out there trying to, nuck if you buck or whatever. Tell me, y'all taking y'all shoes off, and apparently Morgan was still trying to get her shoe because she said she ain't leaving without her shoe. Nique didn't know that, so when they get back at the table, Nique put back on her shoe. Nique talking about, whose shoe is this? What they talking about? This Morgan. So, child, why Nique throw that girl's shoe? I said, Nique, you done threw that girl's shoe. You could have gave that girl back her shoe. Nique said, I don't care. So it's on camera. They can just go down there and get the girl's shoe. But anyway, it was just a whole mess. And I was just like, I guess it is what it is. So, yeah, it's a whole mess. All right, so now as they do, the girls split up, right, to talk about the event that happened. So you have Megan meets up with Ashley and Milan, and Milan is just telling her piece. She was like, Milan said she thought she and Danny were friends. She said they played basketball, like they were really into something. You know what I'm saying? They had a bonding. They had a basketball bonding because they both played in college, and of course Danny went on to play professional, and she could have went to the WNBA, as she said. And Megan gonna say, instead of you getting your friend, you went and got she said, instead of you getting your friend, which was Nique, you went and tried to stop Danny. But she was like, they both my friends. And Megan was like, oh, they is. Megan ain't the brightest light bulb. I don't care what y'all say. Megan is not the lightest, the brightest light bulb in the bunch. Because she just be saying stuff. And I be like, girl, what is you talking about? But anyway, so Milan was like, they both my friends. So I don't want neither of them fighting. And at the end of the day, like, Danny knows she hit me. She sneaked her. She did know that. And in Milan's head, she just like, I think she may have wanted to do that. Because if you my friend, and we building something, I'm not gonna hit you. I'm gonna try to break it up, because we on the same team. We trying to break this thing up. And Megan said, can we, is there a way that we can talk? And Milan is like, no, I don't want to talk to her. We ain't gonna be friends or nothing. If I can get my lick back, then we can go from there. But I'm not doing it. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like me. I got to get my lick back. Because I can't. Nah, you ain't finna sneak me and then you apologize and I'm still looking like, no, I got to get my lick back. It is what it is. But then I got the girls on the other side talking about it. And of course they were saying, and then they came in on one. And it's like the girls are blaming Milan and all of that stuff, talking about they get mad because we moving. I said, but you can't do that. That's that whole thing, you playing victim. You not looking at what you did. You only looking at what this other person did. Why are they're taking no accountability for what they did. And then Morgan, Danny said she reached out to Milan, but Milan didn't reach back. She shows the text message and all that stuff. And then you have Nique, right? So Nique talking about her, Nique, I guess the MUA, the makeup artist, and Mulan, they were all on a group chat. And both of them were talking about this at the same, well, they merged the scene to kind of make it seem like they were talking about it at the same time. So they were going over the group chat messages. And they were saying a bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, it ended with with Nique saying to Milan that she's a Oompa Loompa. Now, Oompa Loompa is a little short, fat looking little thing, just you know what I'm saying? An out of shape person. And then Milan responds with a picture of herself. With a picture of Danny. No, excuse me, with a picture of Nique. Milan sends Nique a picture of herself from her backside, and it showed her underoos. But I'm saying, like, I mean, you call this girl a Oompa Loompa, and you expect for her to say nothing at all. So you call this girl fat, but then she showed you a mirror of yourself, and now you want to sit over here and talk about she fat shaming you and body shaming you because you know you like food and you like to eat. What kind of mess is that? That's what I'm saying. You playing big. You know what? You know, what's just the crazy part? I like Danny. I like Danny. I like Morgan. I like Nique. I like Milan. I like Megan. She alright. You know, I like those girls. But what I don't like is Nique. Like Nique, I don't understand what are you doing? You started this whole beef between all the girls, and then it's like you throwing rocks and you hide your hands, and you ain't even hiding them good because it's just like we got you on video, so we can see what you doing. And I don't understand. Do she not think that we not gonna see this? Do you not think that we not gonna see what you said and what you did? Do you not understand that? And do you think that we just so dumb that we don't know what you're doing? You call this girl a Oopa Loompa. That's what you say to fat people or out of shape people or people that get their bodies look crazy. That's what you say to them. And then when she give you a picture of yourself, you know what? I cannot with Nique, and I won't, because I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to get that together. Yeah, maybe she's the one that's supposed to keep the show going, because she is keeping it going with her messy self. All right. So now you have Nique and Mackenzie that get together with the kids because they live right down the street. They have this whole co-parenting thing going on, right? So yeah, the kids out there swimming and they talk about the night before. And what I did like about Nique, she did say, like, I did have aggression. Like, I was already kind of in the back of my mind, I was fuming about the energy that they was giving. And she carried it over. And she said, yeah, I didn't have to throw the napkin because if somebody would have did me like that, then it would have been whatever, whatever. And I want to tell y'all this. Nique is rich in real life. Like, she rich in real life. So, and it wasn't no come up on no dude or nothing like that. And it wasn't like she got her money from a basketball. Like, she's self-made. And that's what I do like about her. She didn't, I mean, of course she used to do them videos and stuff with her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend or whatever. But if you look at the dynamics between her boyfriend and her, you can tell the one that had the money because she had all these endorsement deals and all of this stuff. So Nique ain't broke. You know what I'm saying? And Nique has always been about that life. You know, she's always been, I'm cool with you. I will love you, but if you do me wrong, then we ain't friends right now. And I'm gonna hit you. Yeah, go back. You know what I'm saying? She not that punk type of chick. Like, she real cool, she real sweet, she give you words of wisdom and advice, but at the end of the day, don't put your hands on me and don't make me feel, don't talk crazy to me because I'm gonna give it back to you. And that's just what it is. And Mackenzie understood that or whatever, and you know, they talked about that. And then, you know, Nique does feel like she was wrong. And I know they probably gonna have a conversation or whatever about it later. Um yeah, so Mackenzie brings up the fact that she got to get away. She gonna go with her boyfriend Rashad, which is Danny's baby daddy. You know, Danny ex fiance. So she got to get away and regroup, and she gonna leave them kids there with her daddy and Dwayne, because you know Dwayne, you know whatever, whatever. So that's what that is. All right, now Danny done found out the information because they all at this boxing class or whatever, and so Danny found out that, you know, they out together. Her baby daddy and Mackenzie, they out down there in Minnesota together on the ranch. And Danny ain't a part of it. And yeah, Danny gotta deal with that. I think your man is moving on, Danny. He might not be your man no more. So I mean, sometimes you just gotta move on. Chuck the deuces and move on. Like you say, get back to you. Get back to life. Get back to basketball. Get back to what makes you happy. Because, girl, you over here crying over this man that's making you. And that's okay, though. Because that's 8 years. That is 8 years and 3 kids. And I understand it. That's why I'm like, I'm not mad at Danny. I actually like Danny because I empathize with her. I mean, because I've been in that situation. So, yeah. I mean, of course, you can handle things differently. But at the end of the day, she's going through a process. This is a major breakup. You be with somebody for 8 years and y'all got all these kids together, and then you on social media and you see your man not even less than 90 days out with a whole nother woman, and then you got to see this woman on TV. You got to work with her. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot for a woman to take in. And but at the end of the day, it's just like you are showing these women your weakness. I wouldn't be weak in front of them girls. Now I get by myself and I cry and I do whatever I gotta do. But these girls ain't finna see me do that, because I'm not gonna let them feel like they got the upper hand on me. You know, because that's just how I am. We gonna be cool. I'm gonna be that one. And then the thing about it is, the more and more you become okay, then you will gradually start to get out of that funk that you're in. And it's hard. I know it is hard, baby, but you can make it. You can get through that. Don't let this man determine your happiness. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this man tell you, don't let this man make you feel like you can't move on without him. And I know you're gonna feel like that. You take your time, but you gotta boss up. You on the show. You know what I'm saying? It don't make you look better that you're acting out against this other person that your man's clearly been lollygagging in these streets with. You know? So I mean, I understand. So you gotta do what you gotta do. And then now you done lost your other friend because you done sneak hit her in a fight, and y'all was actually doing something you love, which was basketball. Like, both that's an outlet for you. And girl, I guess. Anyway, I done talked about that too long. So you got Nique and Mackenzie doing yoga. And then the yoga lady asks, how are they together? And then Nique talking about, yeah, that's my baby. That's my boyfriend, baby mama. We done jumped on the same pin. And you know what's so crazy? I'm married, and my kid's father, my husband, my kids are not my husband's. They're, of course, my kid's father or whatever. But girl, but we all get along. Like we have parties together. Whichever girl that my baby did it with at the time, I be loving them girls. I be like, and every time, and then they be together, and I be like, oh, I love her. We gonna be friends or whatever. And when they break up, I be like, dang, you be breaking up the family, because he'll be with somebody. They be together for however many years, and we grow an attachment. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, we be at birthdays, graduations, come over to the house, whatever. Because I'm the type of chick, like, whatever is best for my kids, it's what it is. I don't have no attachment to this man. This man feel like he my cousin at this point. I look at my baby daddy like he one of my cousins or whatever. And then my baby daddy and my kid, my husband, they cool. Like, they be telling each other they love each other. Like, and cause I've been married for 14 years. This man ain't going nowhere. So we gotta learn to get along. I mean, in the beginning it was kind of weird, but I made a conscious decision, like, we're gonna have to make this work. And that's what it is. We just gotta make it work. Cause when I'm with you, I'm with you. I was with my kid's father for 7 years. So that's why I understand Danny or whatever, but I'm not doing it. And I understand Nique, and I understand all these girls. That's why I'm like, it is what it is, child. I mean, move on. When you start moving on and take care of yourself, then you could be better. But giving this man all the cards and giving this man all your energy, you ain't doing nothing but making yourself shrink. So it is what it is. But I don't know. They having yoga. All right. Lindsay, she's having an ultrasound. She get to see her baby because her man is overseas playing ball. Now you have the sit down between Milan and Danny. And I completely understand this situation. She's a one to apologize because she knows that she was wrong. Excuse me. Danny wants to apologize because she knows that she was wrong for hitting Morgan. I keep saying all these names be sounding the same to me. Okay. Danny knows that she was wrong because she hit Milan. And Milan saying, yeah, you hit me and I want to get my lick back, and I ain't ready. That's pretty much what the conversation. I'm not ready. We can be cordial because we're going to film this show together. And until I'm ready to forgive you, it is what it is. So that's just how they're going to have to end it. Period. Because it's like, at this point, Milan ain't ready. And I don't blame Milan. And I'm glad. And you know what's so crazy? I'm glad the Milan came there with the energy like, it ain't that easy. It ain't that easy. And Milan said the only reason why you text me is because she had that conversation with Megan James, and that's when she reached out. And that makes perfect sense to me because at the end of the day, Megan must have had to remind Danny that we on the show and we still gonna be together. So you might as well make it right because you did hit that girl and you didn't have no reason to. And that's why she's so apologetic. And Milan is like, I don't want it. I don't want it. You hit me. You put your hands on me on something that had nothing to do with you. Period. And so I'm with Milan. I'm glad that Milan stood there and she stood in her mess. She stood in her stuff and her verbiage was clear. She didn't ramble, she didn't stumble. It was to the point blank and period. And she said, and when we do get cool, don't you do me like you do them other girls with these sneak disses and all this old laughing under your breath. Period. Because Milan, like, I'm going to give you that same energy. And what can you say, Danny? What can you say? And Milan has also said, I see how you are with them girls. You want to sit up here and say that we was being, what I don't know if childish was the word, about getting upset about the moving placements. But Milan said, I did this. You came in there not hugging me, just waving your hand. You came in there rearranging something that I did. So yeah, you was wrong on all perspectives, on all ends. You was wrong, Danny. So you're gonna have to figure that out. Now it looks like the trajectory of the show has changed because everybody was pretty much on Danny and Morgan's side. They really weren't on their side, but they had a cool dynamic, right? So now the trajectory is changing to where Nique, it's Nique, Morgan, and Danny, and I think Lindsay. But Lindsay's really hardly ever around like that. And then all the other girls. Yeah. And all the other girls. Because at first it was like all the other girls versus, I ain't gonna say all the other girls versus, but it was more of the group together on one side. And then you kind of had Ashley and Mackenzie kind of isolated. Now it's almost like the trajectory has changed. So it's like more girls are on one side and the other girl because it's like now I gotta pick a side. We gonna pick a side. And that's the side we on. We ain't on Morgan and Danny and Nique's side, especially not Nique's side. So yeah, y'all, this was Basketball Wives. I thought it was pretty cool. The girls, they starting to get down. They starting to get into it. I mean, even though it's childish, y'all fighting over bully comments, that is very childish. Y'all could have just really simply talked about it. But things don't go like that. I guess we have to amp it up for entertainment purposes. But overall, I do understand all the girl sides. I understand all their stories. And people always talking about, ain't nobody no wife, ain't nobody no wife. But child, they got direct. A lot of these girls do have direct lines or a direct family via you was married. Because what Nique boyfriend is a basketball player. He's actively playing basketball. And I think they've been together for what, 3 years, 2 or 3 years. I don't know who Milan did. I think she ex something, but she actually plays basketball. Of course, Morgan, her ex-husband, Danny, her man, they just broke up. Shoot, he played basketball. So all of these girls, I mean, yeah, they could be, but they do have direct ties. It's not like Megan James. Her boyfriend is a tattoo artist, I think. Yeah, her boyfriend is, and then Ashley's actually married. Lindsay, she's married. Nique, I don't think Nique with nobody. She just got an ex or whatever, But when you got kids with one, I feel like if you at least have kids with the basketball player, or you're currently with one or married, then I feel like it's okay. And whatever. So, and then Megan, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling now. This should be y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. Y'all have a good day. Bye.